Ms. Rutherford, call the meeting to order. Next on the agenda.
I move that we act on the agenda as written.
I second it.
Those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Done the minutes of the May 13th meeting.
I move that we accept them as offered, or however.
I second.
Those in favor?
Aye.
Public comment? Nobody's here. New business. Pending tax sale discussion.
So we have a tax sale scheduled for June 4th. June 6th. And there is one property left on the list. All the other taxes have been paid. And the attorney needs you all to vote on the record as to whether or not you will be bidding on the town's behalf in case there are no bidders for the property when it comes up for sale.
And
It's a 1 acre parcel on Howard Hill, currently being used for wood processing.
It's not a home.
Nope, there's no
Okay.
house on it, it's just being used for wood processing. You could put something on it. We did find that it predates zoning, so the 1 acre, although it
Oh, I
doesn't
see.
meet the 2 acre
Right, right.
minimum, it's been grandfathered.
It's grandfathered in, so you could.
So something could be done with it. I mean, obviously the town doesn't usually do anything with the
No,
properties
right.
they buy. In this real estate market, I would be shocked if people didn't come and bid on it.
Try to bid on it, yeah.
But
there's no move, nobody's asked for tax abatement or anything like that. They're just,
correct. That is correct.
And is it just because I've never sat on the select board, is it kind of a process that the select board does where we say, if no one shows up, then we'll...
Tell me, Chris, what's your experience?
I don't remember we ever bid on them.
Well, we ended up with a whole lot of property in the 40s and 50s that
Yeah.
way.
Yeah.
I don't know if we've ever, there's only been one other tax sale since I've been here, and again, there was always interest, so the town
Right.
didn't have to say they would buy it if no one else did.
so why would we want to buy? I mean, if we don't buy it, what'll happen then?
Well, the point is,
it'll
if
just
no one
be-
else wants to buy it, then we're not getting the tax money from it. If
Right.
we buy it, now we own it, so it's like that.
So then would we resell it? What would we do with it? Or
So
would we be required to keep
there's-
it? I mean, I know you have to wait a year to see it.
Right, you have to wait the year and see if they redeem it, and you could sell it, but the law does not allow for the town to make a profit on it,
So you could only sell it for the taxes that were owed,
for whatever, right?
whatever we
town paid for it.
were owed, yeah. And do you think, I mean, I guess that you can't know, but what's the likelihood that no one will show up to want to do that?
I think it's pretty slim, and I personally have spoken with the owner, and the attorney has spoken with the owner and the mortgage holder, and both promised that money was in the mail. We just haven't seen anything yet.
Oh, okay.
So it might very well happen before the tax sale. I'm not sure, but I think it's unlikely that either it will be resolved before June 6th, or that no one would stroll in and say,
And
sure, 1 acre, why not?
Right.
$1,900
Is it a buildable thing?
You could put something on it. I don't know what the situation would be with wastewater and all of that. I don't know that the new owners looked into it that far. I do know that when it got sold, that they made sure, they checked on the zoning because of the 1 acre size.
And it's $1,900 that is owed?
Yeah, ish.
Ish.
I don't know what the attorney.
And so
at
if
this
we
point.
don't say we'll buy it if no one else does, then it just sits there as it is? Like,
And he just keeps getting interest added to his total.
So then could we have another tax sale on it, like 6 months later?
You probably could. I think the point the attorney was making is if no one else bids on it and the town says they will, what that sets into motion is the 1 year deadline. It makes a deadline for the current owner. Like,
have to.
the town does own it because nobody else wanted it.
I see, it gives them a
but
year
you
to
have
straighten
1
it
year
out.
to redeem it.
So what do you think? What's your opinion?
I don't think there's any harm in saying yes, we will. I don't think we have anything to lose.
What's in that?
Okay, well, I move that we say if no one buys it, that we will.
That we're just going to offer, we're going to pay what's owed on it, that's all.
Right.
We're not gonna like bid
Right, the
on it.
minimum,
Right, so
we will place the minimum bid.
I move that we'll place the minimum bid if need be.
Sure, I'll second that.
It was a,
Aye.
Right.
no, I just have to have another tax sale to get rid of it later.
Right, right. Yeah, I mean, yeah,
$1,900.
that way we're not losing it completely. Nice.
Yeah, old business, school meetings. Nobody's here to update on that.
Other than there is an informational meeting on May 30th, which was warned, so you can zoom in or show up in person and hear any new information that the board will share about the budget that's being presented this time. And they just are really pushing, like, let's get people out. The turnout last time was pretty disappointing. So they're trying really hard to make sure the information is out there and that everyone's vote counts, and please, don't care how you vote, just go and vote.
Right. Okay.
Finish update.
So, good news.
Nice.
Oh,
Hey, don't we love good news?
Yes.
We got reimbursements for Schmidt Road, Mansion Road, East Hill, Old Boynton Road, and
Oh, wow.
Andover Ridge
oh my God.
to the tune of $214,000.
Nice.
That I found in the bank account last Thursday.
Are we still borrowing that
I
money?
think we still owe the state as of by
Yeah.
the end of the week, we still owe the state $800,000. So this gets us a little closer to having 800,000, but we don't have it.
We don't have it.
So we still need to
Go
take
forward
out
with the
that
process.
400,000.
I didn't hear from the bank person as to where we are in that process. The last time I heard from him, it was they had to look through all these reports that I provided them, and it sounds like it's going to take a little time. Because then they need us to get something from the attorney. Maybe by then we'll have all our reimbursements.
But we might
Right, right.
we might still be late paying the state though.
We can send them, I'll be able to send them something on Friday, but it won't be the full amount, so we don't have a choice, they're gonna be paying
Yeah.
a penalty.
Okay.
Us and I'm sure a lot of others.
I did find out, and I don't remember if I emailed this, I did find out that the interest on the loan, should it come through and should we go forward with it, can come out of our ARPA fund.
Oh,
Oh, nice.
that's
So that's
good.
also really good news. And they are, again, Richard was right, he thought he'd heard that you could start using that money for even road maintenance stuff, which at the beginning was a no-no, like, no, anything you normally budget for doesn't fall into that. They've changed it because everyone is just in such dire
yeah.
straits.
Okay.
So I did pay for the North Hill paving, which was $26,000, or was it 28, one or the other?
26, I think.
26,850 or something. I did pay for that straight out of the ARPA fund. It still goes toward our flood expenses. It goes toward the total on North Hill to be reimbursed. But that's where it came from, just so as not to
Nice.
further dig our hole.
That's great.
So our negative is down to like 192,000,
Wow.
which felt kind of
I
nice.
know, right? That's great.
Cool.
So North Hill, I did submit a week ago all the stuff for North Hill. The total for that project was $226,000. I haven't heard from Hector, and he suddenly and abruptly canceled our meeting last Thursday. So I'm a little worried because he's been very responsive with emails always. So I'm a little concerned. I don't know if that means he's being deployed elsewhere,
Oh.
and so someone's getting up to speed on our stuff. If there was a new supervisor at our last Zoom meeting, which also made me go, wonder what's happening.
Huh.
Yeah.
So we'll see. It won't be the end of the world. I'm down to the last. I've done the paperwork for, let's see, I'm down to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The last 7 roads that are all small project are rolled into one. So I've done the paperwork for 3 of them. Little Pond came out a lot higher than I thought. That was $6,800. Markham Mountain was too, actually, 66. So I just have to start all the spreadsheets and gathering the receipts for Gates Road, Christmas Tree Road, Cobb Road, and Steinley Road. But again, those are rolling up into one project. I haven't heard anything else about Weston Andover Road still, so I'm gonna email the city
Yep.
again. I thought they were so much further ahead with the grant agreements and all of that we would have that money by now. So I don't know what the
Yeah, should have
holdup
had
is.
that a month ago at least.
Yeah. I know the last FEMA amount came in way faster than, that was submitted after I had done Weston Andover Road, so I'm not quite sure what what the dealio is.
That's 200 and something too, isn't it?
Yes, Weston Andover Road is 250,000. So far, I have submitted expenses for $1.1 million,
Whoa.
which 75% of that, which is still all we're getting, is the 75%. I haven't heard anything about the 12.5% from the state. So at 75%, that's a reimbursement of $834,000, and we spent $938. So we're inching closer.
Yeah, that's great.
Plus, I started doing a spreadsheet so there's the thing called Category Z, which is all my time. And any town employee, any town time that was spent on administrative stuff. So, I mean, that totals up to $16,000 so far.
Oh, wow.
I'm
Yep.
surprised it's not more.
Well, it could be, and we haven't been as diligent with like the time Charlie has spent as we should have, and I'll certainly revisit and go back and look at spreadsheets, and especially early on,
Yeah, because
because there were meetings, and I need
Yeah.
to document your time from meetings and driving around that day and things like that, so we'll add all of them. So that's, I think that's everything financial. Did that sound like everything?
yeah, I think that and more.
Road Commissioners report. You guys are trying to edge the road up on North Hill with the big truck, and
Oh,
just tore the chain out of the spreader.
oh, geez.
So we know there's $1,600 going into the big truck. Bottomless pit.
Right.
Truck's been a bottomless pit since the day we brought it home.
Yeah. Sure. Then everything's going well.
And they've connected with Milton Rents about getting a rental excavator, which is what we've done for the last couple of summers to help us move forward with ditching projects that we have to do for the state for grants and aid. So the guy was here today, and I put in the request that we need for a certificate of insurance from VLCT. And once they have that, they'll put the agreement in, and I think they want to have it by the end of the week. If I'm
Right. Discuss that with Charlie's.
And actually, it worked out well that we had it last year because it was here for the flood.
Oh, right,
Yeah, we
right,
kept it for the flood.
Yeah, and then we kept it. We're like, well, we already have it.
right. We'll just keep on.
It actually worked out very well.
Yeah.
We were very fortunate.
Financial orders.
Those are here. So there are a couple of things to sign. So there are minutes and then the usual financial orders. But at the last meeting, you all approved a tax map maintenance contract with CAI. I need signatures to actually go with that. We had also talked about in the recent past the annual financial plan that gets submitted to the state to show that we have adequately budgeted for our highway expenses in particular, which then helps us get grants. If it showed that we weren't budgeting enough, then we wouldn't be eligible for as many grants. So Megan comes from V-Trans, and we sit down and look at the budget with Chris and Charlie and go through the budget that was approved by the voters. And she helps us build this. And this gives an idea of the amount of money we raised from our class 2 and 3 roads. So that's what that's for. I feel like you approved this at a meeting already. We just didn't do the signature part.
I don't remember hearing about it, but just maybe don't
Well, then
remember.
maybe as a formality, then we have it, and if you guys want to look at it and then officially do a motion and a vote. The other thing is every year the select board tests to that we are in compliance with town road and bridge standards and have an up-to-date network inventory, which we do. We work closely with the state to make sure that we're always in compliance with those things. So again, I don't know if you want to vote or you just want to sign. Okay, here's that contract that you already approved.
Oh, okay.
And then you can start on the other side.
Wait, and I'm just curious. So for the money for the class 3 roads comes from the state gas tax, is that correct?
That's absolutely right.
Is that where we get the class 2 road money too?
It is. Mm-hmm. We get that money, it's not really quarterly. We usually get it in July, October, maybe January, April.
So it's prorated depending on how much gas tax is collected.
I believe so.
And then, because I heard that they were gonna have a tax on, electric. Yeah, so will we get some of that money?
We may,
Right.
because realistically, with more electric cars on the road, there's gonna be less gas tax collected.
Right.
Yeah, I
It'd be an
see.
energy tax now.
Right?
Well,
And I don't know if the state sets the rate that they will give out of that based on the mileage of your class 2 and class 3 roads, knowing how much money they have, or if they wait and see how much money they collected last year and then decide how much it
and
will be per
also,
mile.
and also that would only be for Vermont registered cars. So for out-of-state vehicles, we don't get any money for maintenance of the roads from the
No,
tax.
the gas
on-
tax is on gas.
Yeah, but
Doesn't matter
if
what
the
you buy.
hybrids are being, like, if there's like a flat fee, that I assume they would collect that when you register your hybrid.
I don't know how they're gonna do it.
I mean, they can't just,
We're gonna do it at the charging stations there.
oh, they're gonna do it at charging stations?
I would imagine, but I don't know how they're gonna find out how much to charge at home.
People charge at
Right.
home.
Right.
Well, I
Yeah, I'm not sure,
personally
I'm not
think-
sure they worked all that out.
Right?
Well, I think it's something that needs to be attended to.
So here in minutes of-
Not that you're in charge of it, but that's why I'm curious about it. It doesn't make a lot of sense to me.
A lot of states are playing catch up on that one.
Right?
I thought it was a special thing that they were gonna levy when you registered your car, which would only catch in-state registrations.
And maybe it was, they may have started there, and maybe the conversation's probably still ongoing.
Right.
I know there's certainly talk of, so if you now have to put, 50 cents in to get air for your tires, having some kind of a charge for
Oh, right.
charging your car.
Well, I just think it's particularly ironic that we are having this conversation about how to maintain our town roads. At the same time, more money's being taken away from that pot, that's all. Oh, I guess we'll see what happens.
Alan, I didn't know if you, saw my email. Chris, I forwarded your email to the rest of the board. Or the state's response to your email about declining participation in the watershed
Yep.
project. And they sent a response and said, okay, we've withdrawn your application without prejudice, and so what that means is we won't get punished in other grant programs for not participating in this one. So they let us know.
Any correspondence?
There is not.
Right, I move that we adjourn the meeting.
I second it.
Those there.
Aye.
Aye.